Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Big Show, Tuesday edition, Primetime Local News. Yeah, we have lots on the go today, and Josh is in and he has a look at Beyond the Boards with our Bobcat team.
Yeah, they were sweating it in the gym this past Monday, and
somebody's sweating it.
It was quite entertaining, honestly, to see them try to outdo each other in one of the exercises.
Yeah.
More on that in sports.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a bunch of teen boys. They're just competing against each other, and in agriculture, a little bit of a stall.
Yeah, harvest is honestly very stalled. I'm happy somebody's feeling warm, sweating out in the gym, but our producers will love to get some good weather to get the crop in the bin.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I might not have that good news for you, but we're going to toss it over to Elise, who has some breaking news right now.
Thank you, Michaela. We begin with breaking news tonight. There is a massive police presence at Range Road 20 near Township Road 494 south of Lloydminster. Roads are being blocked off in the area and traffic is not allowed through. There are reports of possible gunshots. We have crew near the scene and we will have more details as they become available. The government of Saskatchewan is paving the way when it comes to training their employees on workplace respect and safety. The government is partnering with Respect Group Incorporated to provide a 90-minute online training course that will give them the tools and information to handle bullying, abuse, harassment, mental health, and more.
And policing actually did a pilot a year ago. And so in terms of the response, when they went through with their staff, after they did the training, they found that the vast majority felt that they were much better equipped to deal with situations like this, and then actually felt that this was a good thing.
Saskatchewan is the first province to implement this mandatory program for government employees, and the benefits not only help workers but the community as well.
And I think there's a second benefit to it, though, that of course our staff deal with the public all the time, and so for us it's also going to help us support respectful interactions with our clients and the citizens, and at the end of the day improve the service that we're providing to the citizens of our province.
For the next 4 years, all government employees will be expected to take in the training. And the Alberta government has announced changes for the road test for driving exams by ending privatization. Minister of Transportation Brian Mason announced the Alberta government will assume authority over road tests starting March of 2019. Some local driving schools are hopeful that the change will bring consistency and better availability for road tests.
So we can't get a road test for a month, and I'd like to see them get more out here. But with the private individual, it's very hard to them because the one examiner can actually stop any other examiners from coming in.
Under the new rules, driving examiners will be government employees with recruitment and training to begin in the coming months. This comes as a response to consultations that were held in July. And later this month, a local brain injury advocate and survivor will be flying to speak at a neurology cognitive neuroscience conference in Warsaw, Poland. As Cassandra Hormsby reports, he can't wait to take his story international.
On June 6, 2002, Curtis Anderson lost his balance while riding a bull in the Ponoka Stampede and had his head smashed twice by the bull. Anderson spent 3 weeks at the University of Alberta's hospital in an induced coma.
Shunts were inserted into my brain to control the swelling of the brain. From there, I was sent to the Glenrose Hospital, where I started over again.
Anderson always wanted to be a worldwide speaker, and the opportunity knocked on his door. He sees this as a chance to spread awareness, share his story around the world, and help others.
Johnny Cash said it best, "I have mountains to climb and always will. The mountains I have climbed in my recovery have taught me that what you put in is what you get out."
Every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Labus hosts a walk for brain injury survivors at the Service Sportsplex free of charge. Anderson believes walks like this are beneficial to survivors because it helps with their brain, and the walk also helps the community see survivors in action and realize how much work they're putting in to get better.
Yeah, we hope that, getting our participants back into the community helps bring awareness to themselves and to brain injury itself, and to show that, it's nice to get everyone back and reintegrating back into their communities and feeling like they're a part of their community.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Cassandra Hornsby.
And now we're going to head to the Lloydminster Airport where Connor Chan is now.
All right, I'm joined with Fred Ackerman from the Lloydminster Airport. Now, Fred, there is a bunch of military people that are going to be here or later on today, or that were here, rather. Now, what are they doing here specifically?
Right, we have the 4 Construction Engineering Squadron from CFB Cold Lake down here today. They're doing a asphalt assessment and reconnaissance course training, basically to see what's the largest type of aircraft they can get into an airfield.
So why is it important for them to come do it here, I guess, in Lloydminster? Because the runway here can't support a bunch of different various aircrafts, correct?
That's right. Our runway itself is rated to a Boeing 737. I think probably one of the prime values for the military to come down and use our airport is they can simulate, say there was a forest fire or something in some other civilian community and they needed air support. They would send this team in to assess whether they could get a larger aircraft in or whatever to help them out.
Now, you're talking about with Nav Canada and the GPS. How has that evolved over the past couple of years, and how important has that been for those types of situations?
Right, oh, huge importance. So right now we currently use a GPS-based approach system. It'll get you down to a cloud layer of 250 feet, whereas before with our old radio-based system, you couldn't come in if the clouds were any lower than 365 feet. So anybody from this area who knows how spring and fall fog season is, that's pretty substantial for getting in our scheduled service and whatnot for sure.
So how big is the runway exactly in here in Lloyd?
It's 5,579 feet by 150 wide.
How much of a bigger change has it seen over the past couple of years, or has it always kind of stayed pretty neutral for the most part?
Right, that dimension is what it was originally built at in the 80s, so we just keep it maintained and whatnot, so we stay compliant with the current regulations so we can keep our services going.
All right, Fred, well, thank you so much for joining us here today. We'll send it back to the studio right now with Michaela for your look at weather.
Thank you so much, Connor. Currently sitting at 1 degree. Last hour we were up to 3 degrees, so we have gone down quite a bit. Look at these records, though, not sitting anywhere near these. -8 back in 1989. And look at that, back in 1992, 26 degrees. Can you imagine? That would be beautiful. Looking at our satellite radar right now, parts of southern and western Alberta are seeing that precipitation continue. Many areas are still under a snowfall warning, places like Calgary and Banff. And we were seeing some cloud cover, and that could continue as the wind gusts, but we are going to be seeing the sunshine in the next few days. No watches and warnings for our area currently, as you can see at the bottom of the screen in this purple area right here. Those are those snowfall warnings that are in effect, especially in the mountain area. Very, very lots of snow, 31 centimeters in Banff. As we look to our numbers around our region here, currently sitting at 3 degrees in North Battleford, mix of sun and cloud, and then tomorrow, or sorry, rather overnight, dropping down to -5. But the wind is going to start picking up later this evening into the morning. So these numbers are going to feel more like -12 to 13 overnight and into the early morning hours. Tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud, a high of 4. Tomorrow in currently in Cold Lake, a mix of sun and cloud, a high of only 2 degrees, dropping down to -5, and that cloud cover is going to continue for a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow with a high of 3 degrees. And looking here at the border city, 1 degree currently, dropping down to -6, and that wind is going to pick up starting about 20 km an hour, moving up to 40 kilometers per hour, and then around 6 a.m. is when we are going to feel like -13. Tomorrow, a high of 4 degrees, 3 degrees rather, and then -6 for the low. Thursday, that cloud is going to roll back in, 4 degrees for the high there, -5. And then Friday, to kick off your long weekend, a high of 6 degrees, so a little bit warmer than we have been seeing, even though it's much below the average for this time of the year. 25% chance there, and -4 for the low. We'll have more details on your 7-day forecast coming up a little bit later in the show.
Welcome back. Well, ag producers continue to battle with Mother Nature as their hard work lies in the field. And as the stress mounts, well, we meet and we find out about the resiliency of one farmer. As an ag producer, that's the sound you want to hear with all the dust flying. But instead, for many producers, harvest is stalled. Some people may have gotten some crop off, and for moisture levels, 17 is being called the new normal as opposed to 14. Mixed ag producer Gord King is holding on.
Wondering and sitting and wondering if the weather's ever going to cooperate with us so we can get out in the field to get some combining done, some baling done, some grain feed up, and some feed for the cattle for the winter.
King has not done any combining for this harvest season. He feels the quality is still there, but the issue involves the drying process, and at what cost?
Yes, it does eat into the investment. You're not going to be making as much as what you wanted to, so the cost, I'm just unsure of what it is.
He's still hopeful to do more than just break even, but the stress of the uncertainty weighs heavily on producers. He has barley, oats, and peas.
Well, the peas, they're kind of in a couple different stages because we got some hail earlier this year, so you got some that were really green yet and some that are pretty ripe. Sitting there scratching your head, what do you figure you should do? Should you just spray it or should you just go out and swath it?
The uncertainty mounts when producers look at snow accumulating elsewhere. King also works at an ag dealership.
It's tiring watching those farmers come in. They got nothing to do, and they're getting to the point where they're cleaning their shops out and saying, oh, I don't have these parts or this machine anymore, so they're bringing parts back to us as well. So producers are hanging on to the wisdom of the ag sages. If you listen to all the old folks, they say that they've never seen a bad September followed by a bad October, so...
Well, Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe notes the new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement keeps the borders open with Saskatchewan's biggest trading partner. He points out that one of the largest import products from the U.S. into Saskatchewan is wheat, of all things. Now, Moe says value is added to it and then it's sent back across the border. An area of concern is the tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum imports and exports. Moe says because they are suppliers and manufacturers of agricultural equipment in Saskatchewan. That's our agriculture news. Josh Ryan has the world of sports, but first, here's our agriculture prices.
City Center Auto Body is proud to offer the paintless dent removal system. This works by going behind the panel, working out small dents. Lloydminster's trusted auto body shop for over 35 years.
Thanks very much, Gerard. One of the keys to on-ice success is the training that occurs off it. In this week's Beyond the Boards, I stopped by Progressive Fitness to see the Lloydminster Bobcats get their sweat on. The common misconception of high-performance athletes and working out is that it consists primarily of traditional exercises and only heavy weights. In fact, much of what hockey players like the Bobcats do is more focused on explosiveness than strength.
Quick movements, not necessarily just the heavy lifting all the time. It's all about that power and the explosiveness. And that's what we're working on, for example, today with the hang cleans, right? So it's all about that explosiveness because when you're on the ice, you're trying to power through each stride. You want to be quick. That's how you get fast on the ice.
The team has 2 or 3 off-ice sessions a week in the gym, which at this point are still largely geared towards developing good technique for full-body exercises.
Learn how to deadlift with a proper straight back, and doing cleans are a little tough too to do it properly. You'd hurt your back or hurt different parts of your body, and you're not getting the best out of the workout.
Preventing injury is an important aspect of the weekly workouts, helping to manage the grind of a 60-game season.
Keep building muscle with your body. It keeps your body healthy. That's why we're here stretching every day after at the end of every workout, and that practices your stretching before and after. You don't get as sore the next day and whatnot. As long as you're taking proper care of your body, you're able to perform a lot better that next time you're on the ice.
Having group workouts rather than individual sessions helps keep players accountable to one another.
It's just a lot easier to be motivated because everybody else is doing it and doing different weights and stuff, so you want to push yourself to do the best of your ability.
And while there's healthy competition, the outings have also allowed the Bobcats to bond.
It's competitive, but it's also we keep it light, keep it fun, play a game of bump every time at the start of every workout here, and so yeah, it's awesome. It really helps guys come together.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Center Auto Body. At City Center Auto Body, they can fix anything, now on both sides of the border.
All right, Councillor Diachuk joins me now. And Councillor, for the military to come here and do their exercises here, as well as surveying the runways, I guess how has the relationship been with the City of Lloydminster and the military over the past couple of years?
The city's been cooperating on a regular basis, I guess, and what we're seeing is that their presence here, in particular over the last couple of years, 2016 and now 2018, really kind of consolidates, if you like. They recognize the quality of the airport. They ensure that all of the specs and demands that need to be in place for the C-130s and I think the F-18s are there. So now we're kind of on the map, if you like, with the armed forces and are used quite regularly.
Does having something like that make Lloydminster's airport more of a diverse, provide more diverse opportunities for other planes like the military planes to come into Lloyd and to fuel up and to be on the emergency runway if need be?
I think, there are a couple of things around it. Certainly we've seen that, the military is one of the applications that I think we should take advantage of it. And I think, we're certainly, I think, privileged in many ways that we do have an airport that can do that. We're one of a small number, if you like, in Alberta that's able to do that. So combining the military along with the commercial service that we're now getting, I think it's very important to the city, and I think it creates opportunities for us here within the community.
All right, thanks very much, Councillor Diachuk, for joining us. We'll send it back over to Michaela for your look at your social media trends.
All right, well, today's question of the day stemmed from the big amounts of snow that southern Alberta got. Yeah, Calgary was, especially when it's a city that big, and seems like everyone forgets how to drive when it comes to winter. So today's question of the day was, should winter tires be mandatory? Gerard, last hour you said yes.
Yeah. I know some people would like the government and so on to sponsor that. Maybe that's a consideration. But I can't put a price on personal safety. Josh, what do you think about that?
I don't agree with making it mandatory simply because I think that the first priority should always be on better driving habits, whether it's better training.
I take that point too,
And I think that's always where it first starts. But I think it would, if you have the budget to it, it's certainly a good practice to have better wheels. Again, just having been an all-seasons driver myself, I think the main thing is first and foremost not speeding and not going into corners too quickly.
Yeah, and driving to the conditions. And Calvin did weigh in on our Facebook page saying, a good all-season tire, all-season includes winter. That being said, the tires need to have a minimum amount of tire tread remaining, which I think is definitely an important thing that you should look for in your tires. And if a driver is found to be in an accident and tires aren't meeting safety specs, then additional charges should be laid, which is an alternative. And places, I just learned today, places like the Coca Hall is actually mandatory as of October 1st to have winter tires. So, and then if you were to get into an incident, then that could come into play as well.
We all know about the Coca-Cola, so.
Yeah, it's a windy road, that's for sure.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can always weigh in on our question of the day on any of our social media sites, so make sure you weigh in. But now we're going to quickly look to our pets of the day. It's the best part. We have, here is Diggs and Dipper. This was sent to us by Jen, adorable little duo there. And next, we have, this was sent to us by Jordan, and this is Mabel, who is very comfortable there. We also have Sky, who's looking very regal, and that was sent to us by Renee. And we also have Stitch, but missing Lilo. That was sent to us by Kara.
On vacation, somewhere warm maybe.
Super adorable. And then last but certainly not least, this is Annie, and Annie is a three-legged hound. And that was sent to us by Kristen. And we do make a draw every Friday here on PTLN. So if you send us a photo, and then it's shown on the show, you will be entered to win a $50 gift card to Pet Pad. So make sure you get those Pet of the Day photos in.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
I'm Courtney Ray from 93.7 Wayne FM and Boom 101.9. And here's what's happening in the Wainwright area. Calling all kayak and canoe owners, an official application has been submitted to the Guinness Book of World Records to break the record for the longest kayak and canoe parade on water. The attempt will be this Monday, October 8th, on the Vermilion River at the Vermilion Provincial Park. If you are participating, a quick reminder to watch the weather and come prepared and dressed for the conditions. If you would like to volunteer and help with this event, register, or get more info, please contact Darlene at 780-808-3430 or Crawford Darlene at rocketmail.com. Tomorrow at the Wainwright Association for Community Living on Main Street, there will be a Thanksgiving-themed bake sale. Come and get some delicious baking at 10 a.m. and support individuals with disabilities in our community. For the first time in 8 years, the Wainwright Rustlers will be facing off against the Irma Aces. A home-and-home exhibition game matchup will be going down on October 12th in Wainwright and October 13th in Irma. This rivalry goes back decades, but because both teams are in different leagues, it's been on hold. Both teams consist of local hockey players, and the games are bound to be barn burners. The bar opens at 7:15, warm-ups are at 7:30, and puck drop is at 8. If you have an event you would like us to feature here on What's Happening in Wainwright, please email us at wainfm@newcap.ca.